What's up, everybody? It is Photo Dave, and it's time for the Toypixx Thursday night live stream. Tonight, we're going to be discussing what we want to see from the figures and the companies presenting at Toyfair next weekend. This will probably be a part one, and as things start to leak next week, we'll do a part two next Thursday. But tonight, we have a special guest, Manu Nester, the good Mr. Matson himself. Dr. Matson, if we're nasty. So he'll be on here just shortly. And of course, me being the shameless self-promoter that I am, I did want to make sure and bring up the fact that we still have this little thing running for the Patreon. We have me pushing buttons so I can share the screen. We have this month's Patreon photo contest theme that is couples. So all you need to do is be a member of the Grande tier or higher. The Grande tier is the $5 tier on the Toypixx Patreon page. And then find this image on the Patreon. Look at the rules there. Email toypixx@gmail.com with your entry. There's one entry per person. So there you go. That is this month's Patreon photo contest. Now it ends February 28th at 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. I have no update as far as picture anyway when it comes to the office. I can tell you I have cut in 3 walls. One is kind of like a tiny sliver wall, but the other 2 are kind of large walls and all that. So I've cut in each of those. The sliver wall I've cut in twice, so it probably just needs paint now, like a roller. And the long walls I've only cut in once, so I got to work on those. But tomorrow I'll probably be doing a lot for Toypixx so that I can just focus next week on getting that stuff painted and get it done. Now, without further ado, it is time to bring on tonight's special guest. So let's do it. Oh, look at this. He's all for showing off. I get on and we do a little thing just before. He's like, yep, this character. Look at this here. I was like, okay, that was awesome. So anyway, sir, introduce yourself. Tell the people what you're into. Tell them about what you do with the photos and all that.
Well, I go by Manu Nester on Instagram. I do photos every day. I've been actually maybe twice a day lately, involved with a bunch of different collabs with G.I. Joe and X-Men and Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. So I'm always posting different themed things. G.I. Joe is the one that catches the most attention. I've got 2 G.I. Joe collabs that I do every week on Sundays and Wednesdays. I hang out talking about toys. I work all day and like to play in the evenings. So,
yep. Okay.
But yeah. I mean, I like a lot of different brands. Obviously, G.I. Joe's the number one. Savage Crucibles caught my interest. I'm liking everything that they're doing. I do a little bit of Mythic Legions. Very sparingly. I figure Obscura and skeletons and occasionally goblins. That's what I try to stick to. And of course the figure Obscuras. I just love those guys.
Hang on.
Those guys are awesome.
Let's get you blown up here. I want to see if I can figure things out. Hey, there we go.
Yeah,
that's Frank.
Yep. I'm only missing 2 figure Obscuras at this point. But these, I've got quite an array of skeletons from different companies. But these guys are awesome. Every version of them. I like the armored ones, and the paint detail on these guys is really cool. This is his backpack.
That's so ridiculous.
You can see how insane that detail is. And you get in to look at like the big boss from that wave. He's got so much detail on parts just in his head sculpt. It's amazing. But yeah, I mean, I've never seen paint or articulation better on an action figure than these Savage Crucibles. It's just insane the detail that they put into it. So these guys are totally worth it, and they're always working with the community about everything. I never had a problem with the toe articulation. but a lot of people were having issues with the ankles. But my ankles are pretty good. They stand really well, and then the toes aren't soft or anything yet, so I'm keeping them for photo purposes. But I have the replacements in case I need them, because they sent them out to everybody. And if you didn't get it through the Kickstarter, so it wasn't sent to you directly, then you could order them and only have to pay the shipping on their website. But yeah, I do all kinds of stuff. I've been doing a lot of Marvel versus Capcom stuff lately with the Jada Street Fighters. I'm probably, newly inspired by the finale of Cobra Kai. I'm probably going to get back into shooting some more of these guys.
And was that the final season?
Yeah. So the last 5 episodes of the final season dropped last weekend, and we just blew through it. It was so good. The third episode of part 3, so episode 13, I guess, of season 6. If you're engaged in the show at all, you'll be jumping out of your seat and pumping the fist in the air and going right on. And then all the stories, they wrap up in a traditional over-the-top Karate Kid Cobra Kai fashion. But also it is a cathartic ending. It's like, okay, this is it. I'm good. So that leaves me a little wondering about the movie, right? So the movie that's coming out with Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio, it's like, where are they going to go? I mean, they're going to tie in the Kung Fu Kid. I see that Joshua Jackson, Pacey, is in that also.
We just host ourselves because you said Pacey, and I nodded in agreement because I know who that is. That's terrible. All right, that sounds right. Let's check with the chat here real quick, and then from there we'll start looking. What we'll do as soon as we're done talking to these guys, we'll see if we can find that floor plan, see if we can see if Harbinger's there at all. All right, Sci-Fi George, greetings and toytations. Sci-Fi George coming in early. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, and greetings to you too. Oh, Skew, Sci-Fi George, and the chat. All of us. Thank you, Skew. I appreciate it.
Skew is always there. He's a good guy, taking pictures, and he's everywhere. I see him around a lot.
I need to check my. I feel terrible, like I've been really slammed lately. I've got to get back to checking my messages because Skew sends me quite a bit, and I haven't heard hardly anything. Makes me sad. I gotta work on that. Excited to see what y'all show us. Skew, this is gonna be. You guys are gonna be telling us what's up. I can't possibly be bothered to prepare. Harry, anyone else not taking pics lately? Harry. That's detrimental.
I can't help myself. Last night I was sitting by the fire because it was so cold, and I was thinking I'm just gonna sit here and sip on my adult beverage for a minute. And the fire was going, and I said that'd be a cool background. So I grabbed some Lemurians and threw them up there, casted a little backlight on them, and took a picture that'll be coming out on Saturday with my Savage Crucible.
Nice.
Collab.
Nice. Mom's got a fireplace here, and she's got like a gate in front of it. So when I'm sitting there going, man, I need kind of a creepy background, I lift up the little gate thing, and she's got like the fake logs and all that back there. So I just stand the figures there because it's all dark, but it gives it just enough texture. I'm like, fireplaces are awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right, Skew, what have we here? Are you waiting for certain figures, or what's up? Do you do snow pics? Did y'all get any snow? We did, North Carolina, but it's gone now. Man, Mr. Matson, you live in Texas, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, lucky putts. I am in Michigan. This has been the coldest weather.
Yeah.
And not only the coldest, it's like the snow doesn't compound much, but it just keeps coming.
Yeah.
And I'm just going, you got to stop it.
So we had one whole day with snow, with actual like real snow here in Texas. So we had a whole day of it. I took as many pictures as I could. So I got maybe a half dozen pictures in the snow before it was gone. And then, this week it got down into 12, 13 degrees. And then next week it'll be 70 degrees again.
See, I'm looking at the forecast, and in a few days it's going to be in the 40s, and I can't wait.
Yeah, yeah.
I never thought I'd be like, yes, 40-degree weather. It's awesome. All right,
So,
you understood. Always would be concerned about parts going missing too. Maybe a
oh
big
yeah.
Tupperware tub. Yep.
Oh yeah, I always take a bin out with me with everything in it, and then set
Mhm.
everything up, and then make sure that I'm not dropping anything. One time I thought I lost one of Zartan's trinkets, like a snake head or the monkey paw thing,
Oh
and
yeah.
so I was a little upset. So I bought another one, um, just to have those parts. And then I said I only have this one left, and somebody was asking for it, so I sold it to him. And then I found the other piece that I was missing. It was in my office. It didn't actually make it outside.
Oh, nice. Nice break. I took out my 00 Snake Eyes, my pride and joy in my G.I. Joe collection. Took him outside in the yard, and I had his suppressor. He was holding the gun or something. He dropped the suppressor.
Oh,
I have no idea how I found it. I was back there. I'm like, oh no, I can't lose this. But like that might be the luckiest find I've ever had
nice.
because I was not smart enough to do the bin thing. All right. So what do you got here? Yeah, take quick outside photos, then add the figures in later.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, you can do the whole background thing. Background, a little bit of Photoshop. Let's see, it's been over 2 weeks that we've gotten, let's see, above 0 here. And where are you again, Harry? I don't remember. I know you've said it sounded somewhere colder than even here, which makes me sad. We'll get through these. Let's see. I took out my CT Wolverine anyway. The light was too good not to, but nothing elaborate. That's all right. Oh, yeah. That's such a good. I mean, I have the Mofex. I was lucky enough to grab that. But I have heard that the Wolverines from CT Toys are immaculate.
I don't have any complaints.
Mhm.
There's a little bit of paint, maybe mismatch, I guess you could say.
Okay.
But it doesn't really show up that much on photos. He looks really good. He feels just fine.
Mhm.
Not exactly like a Mofex, but paid $20.
Yeah.
And so I'm extremely happy with it. And I'm not one for buying knockoffs normally, but that's a quality piece there. And it takes Mofex a long time to re-release stuff, but apparently they're going to re-release Daredevil and Blue Hush Batman again. So
That's right. That Hush Batman, like,
that's
guys, seriously, that Hush Batman is what turned me into the figure snob you see before you.
well,
And they
and
constantly re-release it. Go for it if you don't have it.
yeah, that's the one that got me into it as well. I
Mhm.
saw that one, and as soon as I saw the promos for it, like, oh, that's awesome. It's
Yep.
how much? I don't know if I'm going to touch that. And then it's like, oh, they're all gone. I can't get it now. And so then I searched and searched, and I finally found one, and I got a decent deal on it, and it was before the re-releases.
Mhm.
So it's still like the version 1. Same with my Superman that I ended up getting. I got the version 1, not any of the re-release versions of it. And I wish I'd gotten the re-release of the Superman.
Yep. I'm sure they'll. I mean, that's still kind of the quintessential soup. So I'm sure he'll
He
get a
really
new
is.
re-release as well.
Yeah, well,
But yeah.
he has where they fixed the S on the back, and that was
Mhm.
the biggest thing with him. But yeah, no, Mafex is doing a great job with their stuff. I got the Riddler in, but I haven't gotten Scarecrow. So
Mhm. Yeah, I still gotta order those. I'm triaging my
yeah,
catching up and keeping up and all that, but I think those will definitely make it. Spaded one, knowing is roughly 1/3 of the battle. You know, Duke is no percentage of the battle, but that was a hell of a shot, sir. Nicely done.
no, knowing is half the battle, and then it's 1/4 blue lasers, 1/4 red lasers.
That was, by the way, guys, and not to toot my own horn, today's Patreon freebie, and usually, like, I might show it. I've been terrible about posting those, but I did what I called 80s lasers. And so I've got blue, red, yellow, and purple because way back when Cobra would shoot red, or I'm sorry, Cobra shot blue, G.I. Joe shot red, the Autobots shot yellow, and the Decepticons shot purple. So if you need those, they're against black backgrounds, so it's easiest if you have Photoshop. But download those if you need those effects. That was fun to come up with. All right, let's see here. And by the way, Spaded One got that Mezco Duke, and it was a pretty sweet picture. So that's what I was talking about there. What's up, Star? Good to see you, man. Oh, yes. Ahoy,
Ship.
right.
Yeah. Always out there taking great photos. Love it.
Nice. Let's see. Hello, Ghost Tab. What's going on, Paul? Thank you for showing up, man. Appreciate it. I keep saying that, but I do appreciate it.
Paul's always popping into chats and saying hi to me. So hi, Paul.
That's awesome, man. Let's see. Sweep the knee. Ooh. Oh no. I need to watch some Cobra Kai. I didn't even get into that.
Oh yeah, no, that's so good. Did you ever see the music video from No More Kings?
No, I don't think so.
Called Sweep the Leg.
I don't think so, but I assume that had to do with the finale.
No, it didn't. 2007, 2008, No More Kings came out with a song called Sweep the Leg. It's all about what if Johnny Lawrence swept the leg. and it brought back Johnny and the boys and Ralph Macchio and Martin Cove. And they do this whole 8.5 minute music video about a guy delivering pizza, trying to find his way in the world by playing music or delivering pizza. And then you've got Johnny in a trailer lamenting the fact that he didn't sweep the leg, and he's sitting there and his girlfriend's yelling at him and his buddies are getting on the girlfriend for yelling at him in this trailer. And then Johnny comes out and fights this band member guy. It goes through this whole thing. And there's another part of it where Johnny is rollerblading down Hollywood Boulevard in a pink Speedo and a green jacket with a jam box, listening to it going like this. And at the end, he gets hit by a fancy convertible, and he flies over the convertible or lands on the windshield and has his face smashed up against it. And you see the driver is Ralph Macchio. And then Ralph Macchio takes one look at him, steps on the gas, makes him fly over the rest of it. Then he looks in the mirror, checks his hair, and drives off in the car.
I will be looking for this tonight.
It's called Sweep the Leg, and it's by a band called No More Kings. And the theme line is Sweep the Leg, Johnny.
Yeah, for sure. I'm in now. All right, Skew, paint game is fire. By the way, was it Nikki Nicole Customs that's done all the paint masters for that, or all the prototyping anyway? Do you know?
I do not know. I've seen that she's done some of them. I don't know how many of them that she's doing. I think she did Elric also, which Elric is a good character, so he's going to be a good one to add to the collection too.
Okay, because I know.
By the way, that pre-order ends tomorrow.
Okay, got it. There was the Paranoid that she got. Like one of them is just awesome, and I know that she had posted that one.
I can't wait for those, because there's almost like a translucent quality that they put on those, because they really look like fish. Mm-hmm. So the way the light shines off them and everything, I can't wait. It looks phenomenal.
Yeah, it's got to be some kind of really nice gloss. I don't know. It's gonna be cool to check those out. Okay, let's see. Savage Crucible, thanks for the close-ups. Waiting on Ball and Chain.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that one's going to be cool. That's their first Frazetta figure that they're creating.
That's right. I forgot about that.
That Frazetta line is very interesting, because you've got the daughters fighting on one side and then the grandson on the other side, and or Frazetta girls, and they're both competing for market share, and each one of them are working with different companies to make toys and sell artwork and merchandise and stuff. So we're getting a lot of Frazetta stuff that's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. But you got to wonder about that family dinner around Thanksgiving.
Well, I don't know how close the Frazetta girls are with the grandson.
Yeah. They're like, you know what? No.
Well, and there's a big discrepancy of which one is the Frazetta museum, the house or the museum, because the museums had to move, but the house is also called the Frazetta Museum, and they both have caches of his artwork that they have up.
Wow.
So it's interesting. So there, yeah.
I'd have to. Oh man, I did not know that. I didn't know that about any of that. Like this is Ghost Tab busting us. That was nice. America's own Dawson's Creek alumni.
There you go. Got it.
I hate it when I'm busted like that. EJO, good to see you, man. Cheap organizers for bait and tackle. Yep. Beads, let's see, crafting materials, or even monthly pill minders are great for organizing and keeping your small parts safe. I like it. I've used the tackle box before. Appreciate it, man. Oh, yeah. There we go. Those things are key.
Man, I've got a couple different tackle boxes, tool things, all kinds of stuff with parts and pieces everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I've got let's see. I've got the stupid, like they're 6 tall Rubbermaid. They're kind of the small ones, but they're the only thing long enough to hold some of those ridiculous weapons, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, Spaded One. I place a lot of importance on red and blue lasers. Good man. I think we all do. Let's see, Dave, catching up to shows. Some things never. Now we're just busting meat. I see. I think that's reasonable though. That's a fair critique, Ghost Tab. Let's see. I know that bit. There we go. We've got Sweep the Leg fan. Nice.
It's such a good video. You know, and for me, really, if you follow the history of Karate Kid, it goes the lawyer's video from like 2004, 5, 6, somewhere around there, where he explains how Daniel was the bully. He goes into litigious detail about it. Then you've got the How I Met Your Mother stuff, and then you've got the Sweep the Leg video, and then you've got Cobra Kai. They're all part of the canon in my mind.
So it's almost like people were just begging for it to happen.
Well, they really were. And William Zach has been like a producer on the back end of a lot of Hollywood stuff. So he's been involved with a lot of this stuff. And he's kind of the connecting glue that brought everybody back together and made such a great homage and brought all the actors back that were still alive, that wanted to. I think only one of them had, left acting, didn't want anything to do with that. And that was McQueen, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Because he was off racing like his dad did.
That's actually really cool. I thought after he was done being Johnny, I don't remember seeing him in anything. So it's good to hear that he was out there doing a lot of producing going on.
Well, he was actually in a bunch of 80s movies as the bully or boyfriend or whatever type of character. Some background stuff, and then he did a couple other things, but mostly behind the scenes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look at more of that. Skew, Nikki Nicole Customs did all of them for Savage Crucible.
Okay.
Pretty sure. Yeah. Most, if not all, been killing it. She painted them all so awesomely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paint job's amazing.
Yeah, we were talking about that just before here, and I think everybody's minds are blown with her stuff. Best part of Cobra Kai is the season per season escalation. Season 1 is local tournament. One season they fight underground martial arts death rings from Karate Center at the strip mall. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That I don't know where maybe now I'm just scared. I want that Elric, but let's see, it'd be nice to see it reviewed and articulated on a few videos first.
Oh man, I will tell you, if you have one of these in hand, you're not going to question their articulation. I mean, these double knees are amazing. The ankles, they're not doing the foot thing anymore, the toe articulation. But I mean, I was showing him earlier. That's the butterfly joint on this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at this. This is their design. This is their mold that they're using with all of their figures. And, it'll be obviously different skin and armor sets and stuff like that. And they're improving with each one, because the Lemurians that didn't come out initially, that came out later on, are even better. So they're already changing things in tooling and the way the gear fits on it and everything. So no, it's going to articulate better than just about any action figure you have. I mean, I'm just amazed at all of the positions that you can get this guy in. Take a look at some of the pictures of Como that they have out there, and you'll see that it's just phenomenal stuff.
Man.
And then you can
I'm
swap out some of the armor parts if some of that armor gets in the way. But
yeah, I'm kind of getting I mean, I want to try them out, but this is probably the most I've wanted to try them out now. EJO, what is the connection between Harbinger and Savage Crucible? I don't know too much about these companies. Take it away, sir.
It's the same company. It's just Harbinger Studios is Four Horsemen. Mythic Legions is the brand, right? So Harbinger Studios is the company. Savage Crucible is this brand, because they also did a sports line, I think, didn't they?
They were doing, was it Harbinger that was doing the college football?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's basically exactly what he said. Mythic Legions were done by the Four Horsemen. Savage Crucibles being done by Harbinger Studios. It's like Hasbro and G.I. Joe Classified.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do one more of these, and then we're going to get to the floor plan. I want to look at, we're going to see, like, the first thing I want to do is find out if Harbinger is going to be at Toyfair. Spaded one, I just can't watch Cobra Kai. It feels like it was written with all the skill and tact of an episode of Saved by the Bell. Oh, no.
So much better. So
much
much better than that.
You might be thinking the college years, Spaded one. That's what I'm thinking.
Spaded one, McDisciplinary, I would say give it a shot. Like really pay attention to what's going on there, because there's actually some really intelligent writing, in my opinion. I mean, they did a whole episode with one of Johnny's guys, in his original crew. And so the whole episode surrounds his buddy is dying of cancer. So they want to do one last road trip. So they take him on this camping trip. And then on the camping trip, the guy dies. And so at the end of the episode, they zip him up in a body bag. And it was the guy who said, "Get him a body bag, Johnny," in the movie. Right. And so they end the episode with them being zipped up in the body bag. And then before the episode could air, the actor actually passed away. So they put it in memoriam, because he actually was dying of cancer.
Oh, wow.
And so it was kind of like a tribute homage type of episode. And, yeah, it's cheesy, but it's a good kind of cheesy, and you get into it and it's really fun. And, you just have to, if you watch that lawyer video, if you watch the sweep the leg video, it will help kind of prep you for the fact that when you start off the series, Daniel's a jerk. But if you think about it, in Karate Kid 3, he was a jerk. He was the guy on top. He had success. He got a little full of himself, and needed to be taken down a peg or two. And he's had success ever since those karate tournaments. And he's the big dealer on the block, right? He's the big man, successful career and family. He's got everything he needs. So he gets a little full of himself. Mm-hmm. And we need a reality check.
All right. So let me go back. Hold on. Now that I'm sitting here on here, we're going to present. I want to get to this one. Here we go. I'm looking right now at the floor plan of Toyfair, and I typed action figures as far as the category. We're looking at the level 1 exhibit hall, going in alphabetical order on the right-hand side of the screen, if you guys can see it. We've got, let's see, level 1. I don't see Harbinger on level 1. Let's see if we can try level 3 exhibit hall, because now I want to find them. Now, one thing that you can see, though, on level 1 was 52 toys. So, Star, I know you've been wondering about that alien. I'm wondering if that's going to happen. Okay, let's see. Okay, Hasbro is going to be on
Goliath.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, so I'm not seeing them here. We were trying to figure out, and I think you had a good point talking about how Harbinger probably can't go out there and make enough quantity for like a Walmart or a Target. So one thing I'm kind of curious about now is it feels like, and this is not a shot at all, everybody loves BBTS. It feels like BBTS will take in pretty much anything. right? And we know that the fan community seems to really love Savage Crucible. So obviously, I think BBTS would consider that. But what I'm curious about is obviously for the Toy Fair, you're looking, these companies are trying to sell their wares. They want to sell these things to Target, Walmart, whoever else is going to buy. And in order to get those companies excited to buy, they have to be things that they think we're going to buy.
Yep.
So I'm curious if Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth and Nerdzoic and those kinds of places are also stores that are shopping at Toy Fair, seeing what they see.
No, I think those places shop at places like Legion's Con and
Okay.
I would maybe Joe Fest. You know, some of these other New York Comic Con or something like that, where some of these toy companies can come out, and Rhode Island Comic Con is one. That used to be a big one because Hasbro was right there, so a bunch of toy companies would come up there. You've got some of these larger mid-scale conventions that host some of these smaller groups, and that's where they get seen and noticed. And BBTS does their research before they partner with somebody, before they're like, okay, we can work with you, and then see what they come out with. And Fresh Monkey Fiction is one of those that they've had a long-term relationship with, and it kind of grew into Operation Monster Force, amongst other things. They've got Naughty or Nice, they've got their Eagle Force, they've got all kinds of stuff. So they've been producing and providing, and BBTS has been profitable with their partnership. So, they did it with Fowlverse. They're going to continue with that one. Anybody who's coming up Mythic Legions, obviously they've got some exclusive Mythic Legions. That anniversary dragon that they made looks awesome.
Yeah, the Beathir.
No, the Savage or whatever it is. The dragon in the red armor with the armor says BBTS on it.
Okay.
So it's the 25th BBTS anniversary figure with the red and black.
That's right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and so I think that Savage Crucible is getting to that point where it'll behoove them to partner with some of these toy companies like BBTS, Entertainment Earth, or some of those others that are out there, like Hella Dope Toys. Go check out Hella Dope Toys.
I keep hearing that, and I never even think to go there. I got to check them out.
They're awesome guys, and if you use code APWT, you get 10% off all purchases.
Nice.
And pre-orders, unless it's like a Legions one, then they might give you a little discount on shipping, I think, is maybe what they decided. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's a good good company, good people, and they're making it work. So it's really cool to see them grow. And they popped up at an unfortunate time when they first started, because it was right at the time that another company took a bunch of people's money and disappeared.
That one, that company.
Yeah, that one.
Yep.
And so everybody was hesitant, and it took them a while to get going, but they've created a name for themselves now, and they're doing great, and they're growing all the time. I hooked up a marketing friend of mine with them, and they had some discussions about some things, and it's good. They're growing. So
no, that's sweet. So I don't see Harbinger on here. What other, since you've got you said you've got till about 8, what company are you most curious about looking at or seeing? Because obviously it's just a floor plan right now. But what company stuff are you most excited to see come out of Toy Fair?
The only other one, Hasbro, see if they have anything interesting popping up, is going to be NECA, I think. There's Goliath and some others that might have some interesting things pop up. But for the most part, I'm looking at that NECA to see what they're going to do, or what they're going to say they're going to do, because I believe it was at Toy Fair or SDCC or something last year that they showed a whole bunch of gargoyle figures that are never coming out.
Yep.
And so that was
really gargoyles
disappointing.
Didn't tempt the people so much. They didn't tempt Target and Best Buy and all the places you usually find NECA.
Well, they're good figures, and Bronx is one of their best. Once they got to Bronx, they started changing a couple things and made them really, really good.
Okay.
and I don't know. I think they overproduced the Goliath mold. I think that was their first mistake
Mhm.
because they've got Thalog, they've got Goliath, they've got the video game version.
Oh,
They
that's
just
right.
kept reusing that and reissuing him. They did a 2-pack with Goliath and Demona with new parts, and I don't know anybody who bought that one,
Right.
and I only ever saw it at Best Buy. But I think they mishandled a couple things with that because I wanted Macbeth, I wanted Cold Stone, I wanted the line to continue, but I didn't think they were giving people enough to buy in. But the good news is, I've got all the gargoyles, I've got Xanatos, I've got his armored soldiers, I've got Elisa Maza.
Mhm.
I'm good. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to have the trench coat Broadway, but it's okay.
Right. So then we've got obviously, okay, so we're assuming that they're not going to come out with a whole lot there when it comes to gargoyles, clearly. But
Yeah.
then I assume when we're talking Hasbro, we're talking classified. What kind of thing are you hoping to see there?
Well, I would hope that they would talk about maybe they'll talk about their new price points.
Mhm.
I believe they've changed some of their price points, which may be good, may be bad. We'll see how it works out. Because they've got SKUs, right? So
Right.
many objects are going towards each SKU, and how they're moving forward with the exclusives and that kind of thing. The Mass Device one is going to be the Target exclusive now, so all the Mass Device stuff's going to be at Target.
Mhm.
What's the Walmart one going to be? I can't think if they announced that or not, but
Yeah, I'm not sure.
but
And was the
Walmart's,
Target thing confirmed?
yes,
Because I
yeah,
thought I read it as a rumor, but I wasn't sure.
yeah. So those SKUs are all tied to Target. So
The
anything that
Target
has the
specifically.
the
Okay.
Mass Device is as far as I've seen has been tied to Target.
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
But
Got it.
yeah, but I mean, Hasbro's got a bunch of other stuff too. So they just did a Marvel Legends panel or video today. So they're cranking stuff out for that. So
Mhm.
we'll see what happens there. And I believe this is a license renewal year also. So they've got to re-sign with Disney for Star Wars and Marvel.
Mhm. And I read something about Star Wars. I believe Star Wars figures were down 12% as
Yeah.
far as revenue. So
Yeah.
I wonder if this is awful. I just keep thinking business ramifications. I'm like, can they go in and see if they can negotiate a lower price or just getting out of that altogether and still
Well,
keep Marvel? I'm not sure.
yeah, the Disney licensing fee is pretty outrageous from what I understand.
Mhm.
And so, what they have to pay Disney for the use of their names um, becomes more and more challenging. So they have to listen to what, this is what we're making, this is what you have to produce type of stuff. And, Hasbro, that arrangement hasn't worked out so well recently. So I'm sure there's some room for negotiation.
Mhm.
Uh, and I'm fairly certain they'll work something out, but we'll see because Chris Cox is saying that they want to produce less toys. So they want to get more into entertainment and video games, which hasn't worked out for them in the past. So I
Right.
don't know exactly how it's going to work moving forward, but
I remember a couple years ago, and this actually, don't worry, guys, we'll get to our hopes and dreams here in a sec. But a couple years ago, and this hit me right in my ever loving branding heart, where he said that they wanted to focus more on their core IP. And
mm,
I thought, for a couple of years, I've thought, it would probably behoove them, and this isn't a shot at these lines or anything, but it would probably behoove them to not have to worry about being tied down to Marvel and Star Wars and just worry about things like G.I. Joe and Transformers and any IP that they themselves own so they can really pump those up and not have to sit here and listen to all of us say, like me, Marvel Legends, I'd start buying your stuff if you had ball peg waists, or Star Wars, if you'd add some hands and some articulation, I might do something. We know that between their profit margins, what they expect, between what Disney expects as far as licensing fees, and who knows what else. They just can't do it.
Yeah.
So, you know, to me, it's like, man, if they could get rid of those and really double down on the stuff that they own in-house, they'd kill it.
I agree. But I mean, how can you say no to Spider-Man, right?
I know. Spider-Man makes it tricky. Like, I'll post those pictures, like the prompt pics. The Spider-Man ones always do well. And to be honest, they could be really bad photos. But like, Spider-Man will always kill it.
Yep.
All right, let's get back to the chat a little bit here. See what's going on with everybody. Okay, Harry, I had to get the Elric figure. I've been waiting for so many years for one. There you go.
2, Utah. Give me 2.
Of that thing, Harry. Whew. Oh
yeah,
man, go ahead.
Yeah, that Elric figure looks amazing, and I mean, EJO is talking about that's not his, that's not the Elric figure. He wants to see the actual Elric figure. I get it. I know what you're saying, but at the same time, the people that are making it, the people that are designing, the people that are painting it are phenomenal at what they do, and what they've shown already and what they have had in hand already has been phenomenal. If you've been to a show and seen it, because it's at the shows, if you've seen the images, it's phenomenal. It's got the armor, and there's some other aspects of it that I might like to be a little bit different, but I can maybe I can swap one of the Marvel Legends Dracula heads, or something like that. I'm sure there'll be some customs. They're probably going to make another version of it, but they also had to get approval from Michael Moorcock, right? And so they had to get his approval, say, this is the version we're going to do. Is this all right? And then they have to take from specific areas, because other people have rights to different iterations of the character. And like I said, what they've shown is awesome. And if you have one as a Dragon Knight and one as Elric, I mean, it's golden.
Mm-hmm. All right, Ghost Tab. Best part of latest Cobra Kai is when Daniel Dream fights his greatest enemy he had ever faced, Mr. Miyagi, an 80-plus-year-old man. Was that real?
Yeah. So it looked like a guy wearing a mask, but it was digital, and they did it fairly well. It's an interesting thing. They try to cover up as much of it as they could with smoke and shadow. But they did a fairly decent job of it, and it was a cool scene. It's in an episode called Skeletons.
Yeah. Okay. EJO, I do totally understand this. Sadly, the toy game seems to be, if you have a gut for a figure that's not going to stick around on pre-order, you probably got to pre-order it. Because I mean, I totally understand what you're saying.
Well, and I'll tell you this, okay? That's a $70 action figure. That figure is going to go for $70 because of licensing fees and aftermarket cost. If you pre-order it, you can get it for $50. And like I said, knowing the company and the people behind it, you can trust it's going to be good. Is it going to meet your standards? I don't know. If you have a Lemurian in hand and you understand that this is the base that they're going from in terms of articulation, in terms of paint detail, in terms of sculpting, then you understand what you're going to get. And what you're going to get is going to be a masterful piece of art that articulates really, really well and will hit all kinds of poses that you could ever think of getting a guy in that much armor to do. The heads, everything that they're doing is phenomenal. So if you're at all interested in getting it, do it before tomorrow so you can get that cheaper rate, because afterwards he will be a $70 action figure as a retail price. You won't find him for $50 anywhere.
Now, do you think, because I know some people will still be on the fence, do you think the pre-order, like what's your gut? Obviously, we're not all Nostradamus here, but do you think for, say, it's on BBTS or wherever it goes, as far as that's concerned, do you think that pre-order will stick around long enough for reviews to happen?
The pre-order from BBTS or something? I don't.
Or like you said it'll go to $70 when it goes to whatever retailer.
Yeah.
When it goes to that retailer, do you think that they'll stay in stock, or do you think don't gamble and just get it ASAP because reviews probably won't come out while it's still available?
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know if they've gotten it in hand to anyone yet to
Hmm.
even review it,
Right.
because you know, they're in production, or they're going to be in production.
Okay. Okay.
So this pre-order is an actual pre-order right
So
now.
just testing out numbers, finding out how many people they're going to need to make, or
Yeah,
how
and
many they're going to need to make. Okay.
yeah, and there'll always be and they're going to order more than what's in the
Hmm.
pre-order because they know they'll sell them at shows and stuff like that.
Right.
And if you go to a show, you may get that price. But just like with the Lemurians, if you didn't get in on the Kickstarter, you didn't get the $25 price for this guy right here. You didn't get the
Hmm.
$25 price for this guy,
Right.
right? So, you know, and yes, this has an accessory pack additions onto it, right? So that was a little bit more. But
Hmm.
if you got him after the Kickstarter, you're paying $35-$40 for the base figure.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you're paying $50 or more for their more articulated, detailed ones. You
Mhm.
know,
All right, Skew. Elric is a separate figure from or a separate figure line from Harbinger. They are doing college football too. Okay, got it,
well,
got it.
yeah, I mean, it's Harbinger. It's not necessarily Savage Crucible, right?
Right.
But it still is. It's the same people, same design team behind it. The articulation scheme's the same. So
Mhm. Okay, EJO. Let's see. So Harbinger Studios is also the Four Horsemen, where they were. No, 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 no.
no, no, no,
So
no.
so that's just kind of putting it together. So think of Harbinger as Hasbro and Savage Crucible as GI Joe Classified. It's the same relationship. Harbinger's just the company making it, and the Savage Crucible is the line they're making. So it's Harbinger is making college football. They're making Savage Crucible. They're making Elric. It's that kind of deal. Hopefully that clears that up for you. And oh man, we got chats galore. Why you guys gotta do this to me? Let's see. Oh man, enjoying Cobra Kai. Sweep the leg giant. I have to find that video. Cobra Kai is more fun than it has any right to be, though I do wish I had their durability. They do get hit 100 times and not a
Actually,
scratch.
I will make a correction to this, because Harbinger Studios adds Elric of Melnibone to the Savage Crucible line. So he
Okay,
is in the Savage Crucible line. It's the same design team, it's the same people. So it is Savage Crucible still.
got it. Okay, awesome, awesome. Appreciate it, sir. All right, Skew, the body bag episode, stuff like that is why I love Karate Kid movies. Oh no. What have we done?
Yeah.
What is happening? All right. Spaded one. I'll give Cobra Kai credit for actually going back and getting these actors to come in and play the roles again. Really neat seeing guys like Terry again 30 years later.
Well, and the funniest thing to me, and it always gets me, is the guy that plays Terry Silver
Hmm.
is a year younger than Ralph Macchio.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So if you go back and watch the Karate Kid 3 and see how small Daniel is and how big Terry is, you know, and they're interacting, and Terry's the adult, and then, you know, flash forward, you know, he's got the gray hair and everything. But it's funny because he's a year younger than Ralph.
Wow. That's I know people that went gray pretty early on, but that
Oh yeah.
hurts. Yeah, definitely ain't Shakespeare, but I love Miyagi in the cast.
Yeah. Yep.
You guys have no idea. I've been doing a lot of edging on like I said earlier, a lot of edging on painting for the walls and everything at the studio. And I'm sitting there as I'm doing it in my head, wax on, wax off. It's terrible.
Paint the
All right.
fence, paint the house.
You know what? I totally should have thought of that instead. Rick, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping in.
Hey, Brick. Good to see you, man.
Let's see, update still no NECA mystery boxes. Oh my god, man. That's terrible, EJO. I hope NECA makes some kind of crazy announcement like, okay, guys, we're getting things together at Toyfair, but we know that won't happen.
Yeah, I think that whole the Donatello sewer layer thing really kind of hurt their image, and there's a lot of people that are washing their hands of them.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's yeah, hopefully they bounce back. I love their
Yeah,
stuff. I love a
yeah.
lot of their stuff, but that's bad.
They've got some incredible lines and some really detailed stuff. Sometimes they're a little harder to pose than others, but they make good stuff, and they're always in the
Mhm.
stores. So
Right. Still fun. Oh, break good man. Let's see. Let's see. All right. The hockey jersey dragon. Great googly moogly. Oh no. Let's see. Skew looking forward to Brutal Realm updates. I wonder. Nah, they wouldn't be.
I don't
Obviously,
think
they're probably.
I
Go
don't think
ahead.
they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be at Toy Fair either for the same reasons we talked about earlier. I mean, they could be, but that's usually for trying to sell the WalMarts and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Ghost Tab. I
Okay.
hope the Karate Kid Legends movie has a stinger where Taki from the cartoon shows up to get Daniel to fight ancient Chinese magic. I forgot all about that show.
Yeah, that's funny. Because Jackie Chan's playing Mr. Han, so they're trying to tie it into the Will Smith or Jaden Smith movie.
Mm-hmm. I've
Yeah.
got to. I didn't see that one. I've got to go back. I don't remember three actually. Like I knew who you were
Oh,
talking about, but I
yeah.
remember one and I vaguely remember two.
Well,
So I
so
might need to go check some of this stuff out.
three is so over the top cheesy. It's 1980s primetime bad guy Terry Silver, corporate industrial, toxic waste polluting jerk, who's one of John Kreese's friends to come and save John Kreese. And some of the bully bad guys that are in there are in season 6, and you wouldn't recognize them. But
I need to see this. Now I have to see it. All right. Where's the Jada Toys booth? It should be the one giving off beams of lights as a choir sings.
man, I tell you what, June and Jada, they can't do any wrong. Those cyberpunk figures look amazing. They've been
Yeah.
killing it with Street Fighter. The Mega Man stuff is awesome. The Heroes line, I can't wait to see the Scooby Doo stuff that they're going to do. Um, I want that Scooby Doo stuff to happen sooner.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want to see, because you're right. Like every time I've seen June interviewed, I like how from time to time June has this glint in his eye.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
you know,
I know something you don't know.
exactly. You're
He
like,
was
oh,
talking to somebody. I forget who it was. Toy Migos, I think it was.
okay.
And they're going through talking about some things, and somebody asked him, "So do you think that you would do a head pack for Street Fighters?" And he's like, "Maybe." Because everybody's looking for the beat up faces, right? So we want
Right,
all the beat
right.
up faces for all the characters. So
That's awesome. I need all that stuff. Like June, the one thing, like I love how just stoked June seems to be about all of it, you know? You're like,
well,
man,
he
he's excited to be doing everything.
oh yeah,
Okay,
he's on
hold on.
top of the world right now. He's on top of the world making a great line, and everybody's giving him the accolades. So he's loving it.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let me see because I didn't see Jada in action figures, but Jada is not known for action figures.
That's right.
So let me see what would we call diecast cars?
Yeah, I saw they made a post recently, and they posted something and said that something wasn't going to come out anymore because they couldn't meet the quality standards of Jada toys. I
Mhm.
don't know exactly what it was, but they made a post about it recently, and had to do with the diecast cars or something,
Okay.
or one line or one particular one.
Okay, let me see here. So level 1, they're not on. Let's see if they're on level 3 here. All right. Come on, Jada. They gotta be. I mean, I can't imagine Jada not being at Toy Fair. And yet, I don't see them listed even under diecast cars. I
You know,
don't know, guys. I have to think they're there.
I don't know how big their market presence actually is. It's taken so long for them to get into stores, and they've always had that one little section for some cars and vehicles.
Hmm.
But now they've expanded into the collector section with the Street Fighter stuff.
Right.
I just don't know if they're significant enough to go to Toyfair and make a presence for bidding on anybody else, or if they want to bid with anybody else. They're like, our hands are full, we're good. We've got the collector's market and we've got some stuff in Target. We'll
that
manage
could
that.
Very well be it. Like it could be, because I mean, I know they talk about, at least when it comes to their figure lines, that June has said multiple times he doesn't want to just get just get hit with a ton of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So, everybody's asking him to make every single fighting game line that there is out there. And he's like, I don't, he's always hesitant and pulling back on it.
Yeah.
I think he said that he might consider Mortal Kombat if that one came up, but there's already other people doing Mortal Kombat. So,
right. And I saw that McFarlane, it looks like, has a Mortal Kombat listing coming up soon too. So I don't see them getting that anytime soon.
McFarlane may have some interesting stuff coming out next year. So they're at Toyfair, so they'll be showing some stuff off.
Hopefully, I would love to see Jada show, but if they don't, I'll survive. They do good enough stuff where they get a pass from me. More Jada reveals, food mascots, and Scooby-Doo. Man, that's the thing, though. You notice that Jada, aside from some, because you were talking, like, you're right, there's 2 or 3 basically little rows or columns, I guess, of die-cast cars in at least like Target and Walmart when I look.
Yeah.
There's nothing, like when I go back to the collector's section in Target specifically, there might be 1 or 2 Jada figures there, like Street Fighter figures, but most of the time, not really.
Yep. Recently I went in and M. Bison and Dalsim were there, and I was kind of surprised. I'm like, okay, that's how far behind they are.
Yep.
So,
by the way, guys, I'm pretty far behind on my Street Fighter stuff. I looked on Amazon today. If you don't have Dalsim, he's less than $20. And a lot of them are, I think the only one that's pricier, like greater than MSRP, is Guile. And I think it's not like he's crazy expensive. He's like 28 or 29 something. So if you feel like picking up some Street Fighter that you maybe don't have yet, go for it. Skew, Medi Toys, and Lin Jiang, the TMNT making dudes. Yep. Nice. What's he wearing? What's he got there?
So this is M. Bison Player 2 with Flamin' Hot Chester Cheetah.
I should have known.
And so this is a character that my buddy made up called C. Bison. And hopefully in the next week or so, he'll have a new commercial coming out.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. Spaded one. NECA shenanigans. Honestly glad I stepped away from them. Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. It's been a while since I picked up some NECA. It's not been a while since I wanted to pick up some NECA. I might need to grab something. Yeah, you're right, Brick. Macbeth would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Like Gargoyles, for whatever reason, I loved that show. I used to watch that show like mad, and then I couldn't remember that it was pronounced Elisa. But still, I love that show. I just, for whatever reason, never got into Ling Ji-hoon.
So jumping down the chat a little bit to the end there, Brick makes a good point, and I totally agree with him. Jada saves their big reveals for NYCC and SDCC, and I think they know their market, and they want to go to their best market. Where if you go to Toyfair, you're selling to Walmart and Target and big box stores, right? If you go to SDCC or NYCC, you're selling to the fans.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's a better way for these smaller companies to get out there and do stuff like we were talking about earlier with the smaller shows. Yeah.
And maybe they don't. I mean, obviously, cars are their bread and butter. Maybe they don't produce action figures in the same quantity or in a massive, like you were talking earlier, in a big enough quantity for Target and Walmart.
Yeah.
Okay. I try to get everybody, but you guys loaded up. I'm sure Mezco will show off their 112 figs scheduled for release in 2042. No, they're not scheduled in 2042. They're scheduled for 2026. They just won't show up till 2042.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some new Mezco reveals, but they just had MezcoCon not too long ago, so they were revealing some stuff there. They're going to trickle stuff out at the the Comic Cons, the fan expos, those kind of shows. I think that's their kind of model as well, because they're not exactly a big box store
Right. Have
company
they
either.
been in? Have you seen them? Like I've seen them in comic shops,
Yes.
but I've
Yeah.
never seen them in any store other than that.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. What do we have? Let's see. It gets me every time. They all kids these days. All right. Let's keep going. Ghost have. What do we have here? Do you mean the empty warehouse at the end of Transformers Rise of the Beast won't turn to a G.I. Joe Mega Movieverse franchise like Hasbro planned? Dude, that is, I mean, you guys, I've talked about what I think with that. I think the Transformers in the box office right now is pretty clearly a loser. We know G.I. Joe in the box office is a loser. It's like, for me, I don't like vodka and I don't like tomato juice, but I thought, let's try a Bloody Mary and see what I think. That was a bad idea. And I'm thinking the same thing with G.I. Joe in a Transformers movie. So no, I don't think that will happen.
You never know. They could hit on something funny or something engaging. If they get the right writers and the right crew on there, they could do something, I think. But it's not going to be Transformers 1, type of thing, right?
Right. And I think, yeah, Transformers 1 and Bumblebee, I think, are easily the best between all of Transformers and G.I. Joe movies that have come out.
Yeah.
So, like, if they got that quality, that pedigree in there, that would be key. I just looked up and noticed it's 8:03, sir. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I've got a little bit of time, but I wanted to get to some of these comments and topics that we were getting to. I don't want to leave anybody hanging out there, but
No, you're good. Do you see any more we want to hit up? Spoilers. So yeah, sorry, Rick. I didn't even think about that. Oh, I can't. Okay, we're better now.
Thanos Copter, hey, what's up? Yeah, the last Transformers was great. I did like the Transformers 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was. I thought it was a great movie, and I think a lot of people did. I think people, honestly, I think that they just kept getting burned by Transformers, and I hear a lot of people saying the marketing wasn't that great. There's probably some truth to that, but I think more so than that, it's just people are going, "Oh God!" After the last couple Transformers movies, I don't know if I can handle another one.
Yeah.
I think the stench of Bay.
Yeah, well, that doesn't help things. I mean, it kind of ruined Turtles for a little while, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Brick's got a good one there. Yeah, those are great. He had one about crowdfunds, pre-orders. It's kind of near the end.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Remember? We have
said, yeah, folks. It starts with yeah, folks.
Oh, Toyfair is an odd duck. I'll agree with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Come on, man.
I can't believe Nacelle's in Walmart. That just blows me away. There we go.
Mm-hmm. Don't realize that crowdfunds and pre-orders are often the most affordable way to get figs like Savage, Legions, AWOC, etc. There's a small return for investing your money early. And from a business perspective, I know we don't like pre-orders, but that's going to keep these companies around a lot longer because they're not going to over-order on things because they don't know, like I know
because
that
these are true pre-orders from these smaller companies, right? Mm-hmm. For Hasbro, it's not a true pre-order. They already have a set number that they're going to make, and they put the pre-order up there to try and reserve some space so that they know how many they're going to have to keep in warehouse for a little while or whatever. But they're not true pre-orders. Whereas these smaller companies, it's a make to order thing. If they get 30,000 pre-orders, then they're going to make 40,000 figures and figure out what they're going to do with the last 10,000, right? I don't know numbers like that. I'm not a toy maker, obviously, but it would be something like that, right? And so you order X percentage over what the pre-orders are because you know that there's enough interest, and interest will grow, and you want to be able to supply that secondary market interest when it comes
Mhm.
around. But the pre-orders give you the incentive to get in early, and gives the company the incentive to say, okay, this licensed figure that's going to cost us a whole lot of money, we can give these people a break at the beginning and then let everybody know that it's going to be more expensive later, because we have to meet those fees and the overhead costs of all this as well. So,
Right. You said made to order.
yeah.
And I wonder if these companies, instead of saying pre-order, just said made to order, it would eliminate a lot of this confusion too.
Well, the term pre-order has been misused for so long. It's yeah, one of those things for sure.
Hmm. Okay, so guys, sorry, we're gonna skip around a little bit here. Apologies. Let's see. This channel became the Cobra Kai podcast real quick. Hey, nabbit. Stinking Cobra Kai. And you're talking to some. I think I saw the first episode. Like, I think that's my extensive knowledge of Cobra Kai. Let's see. Apostle 22. Thanks for stopping in, man. Star Wars could have learned a lot from Cobra Kai on how to honor and respect the
Yeah.
past while bringing in a new generation of characters.
Yeah, that's for sure. In the first episode of Cobra Kai was called Ace Degenerate. And the very
Okay.
last episode of Cobra Kai season 6 was called X Degenerate.
I like that. I like that continuity. Rick Nask, he was referring to James Jason of Brutal Realm. Okay, on my show this Sunday, 3:45 p.m. Pacific. I'm hyped too, Skew. Awesome. All right, so that's 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Anybody that wants to check out some Brutal Realm news, head over to Brick Something's channel on YouTube this Sunday. Be sure to check that. Brick has some fun stuff going on his channel.
Yeah, he's always got good people on there. He's always doing good stuff with the smaller creators, getting them on there and interviewing them, going through their whole process, letting the public see who these people are, what they're doing, what they're putting into these things. And he's super excited about so much stuff. I love it.
I know.
He's great.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Joe Fan 84, what's going on, man? Thank you for stopping in.
Yeah, Brick is not nearly as cynical as I am.
I feel like I teeter the line. I don't know. Maybe not. Let's see. Oh God. No, seriously. Where's Jada? I'm sorry, Star. I look, but I think these guys make a great point. I mean, when's the last time you walked into a Target or Walmart and saw a huge Jada action figure section, or even a huge Jada diecast car section?
Yeah.
Like, their diecast people probably just make a phone call to Walmart and Target. Hey, you guys still want our stuff?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they're being stacked on top of each other. They're in little small corners. They take up a small shelf space. And then their action figures are hidden behind all of the collector stuff. So it's hard to find sometimes.
Yeah. Ghost Tab, I watched the new Karate Kid movie day. Karate Kid Jaden Smith gets recruited by the dark side to take down Daniel for talking badly of Jaden's mom. Then Jackie shows up to save him.
Oh no. Getting some
There's a whole lot there.
Oh yeah.
We're just gonna skip that one. It didn't chuckle though, Ghost Tab.
The slap heard round the world.
Just have a bunch of Jada Fast and Furious cars. I have a Jada Prime and a Jada Bumblebee. I still need the Jada Jazz.
Nice.
But yeah, that's all I've got as far as cars are concerned.
All right, guys, I do have to get going. So appreciate you, Dave.
Appreciate you stopping by, man. This was a good chat. Just good times.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You bet. I'll everybody say bye real quick. Instagram, Manu Nester, check him out.
Mamu's Action Figure Blog. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
See ya. All right, folks. Let's keep this chat going here. And I'll try and get through quite a bit. Yeah, Toyfair's not duck, but there are some smaller companies there this year. Plunderlings, 9 to 5 Warriors, Nacelle. I saw Nacelle and I saw Plunderlings. I did not see 9 to 5 Warriors. I was looking, though, to see what's going on. So, guys, let's get this rolling. what are you most excited to see coming out of Toy Fair? Like what would be a big dream project, a big dream item? Now remember here, this is all these companies are trying to sell great stuff, really cool stuff. They're trying to get buyers' attention from places like Target and Walmart. And I'd say Best Buy right now. They're trying to get them excited about the stuff they're selling. And in order to get them excited about the stuff they're selling, those places, those Targets, Walmarts, Best Buy, whoever else is there, is wanting to make sure that people like us are going to be excited about buying, at least when it comes to the stuff we're interested in. So I would say this is probably about as close to a wish list as we can get when it comes to things that hopefully will show up, because if the buyers don't, or if the collectors aren't stoked, buyers won't be, and lines will die. So let's see those outlandish wishes that everybody wants to see. And while you're typing those up, I'm going to keep getting through the chat here real quick. Brick Production Studios will be there. Trick or Treat, Gentle Giant. I saw Trick or Treat too. That's cool. We'll see how fast. We'll see how fast I can read. I don't know. Let's see. But Jada saves big reveal. Yep. Yep. And I think Brick's onto something there. I think Brick and the good Mr. Matson know what's up. Skew, Sea Bison Aspire, and so cheesy. These are facts, my friend. You are spitting them. Thanos Copter, what's going on, dude? The last Transformers movie was great. Yep, we did hit that one. I'm just pushing buttons at that point, but I fully agree. I still haven't seen any nacelle at Walmart. I have a Walmart really close to here, and I almost never go. I need to start checking it out some. Ray, what's going on, man? Thank you for stopping in. All right. We're working down. Let's see. Of course. Let's see. Awesome, guys. Yeah. He did a great job. It was awesome having you, Mr. Matson, here. Let's see. Jada Ectomobile is my only. Oh, wait. Or, I'm sorry. Good Lord. Jada Batmobile 66 is my only. That's all right. That looks pretty good, too. That comes with a Batman, I think, doesn't it? Ghost Tab, take care, dear guest. What am I doing? No, I'm just pushing all buttons. It was a good night. It was a good night. It's been a good night. It continues to be a good night. Too Fast, Too Furious was my nickname in school. Great googly moogly. I don't know that we want to hear the story behind that, Ghost Tab. In fact, I do think we could probably guess much of the story. Let's see. We keep flying. We keep flying. Oh, you guys are coming up with answers. I'm seeing it. 1/12 or 1/10 scale Resident Evil line for 25 or less. I think what we're looking at for something like that, honestly, at this point, I think Jada's your best bet. Now, I don't know as far as, I don't remember the last time I saw a NECA figure sell for like 25 bucks or less. And I think of them as 1/10. I also think of McFarlane as 1/10, but he's hit and miss for a lot of collectors. So I don't know if you want to count him in there or not. Ghost have, what have we now? My dream at a Toy Fair would be more Dino Raiders and Jada doing the Herculoids or Thundar. Man, I'm hoping. Here's what I want. You know how Mezco will start firing up some stuff from time to time and say, "Hey, this is stuff we're coming out with," and they'll have their Mezco Toys Fair and all that. I hope Jada does something like that this weekend, and June just gets full control of their Instagram or Twitter or whatever and says, "Hey guys, don't forget about us. Thanks for explaining that star and all the rest of us that want more Jada no matter what." That's cool. But where's more Jada? I know, man. Jada's what's up. I'd love to see Mattel announce vehicles for their upcoming Motu and Thundercats mashup line. I forgot about that line. Oh, man, what would they do? What would they mash up with the Thunder Tank? I don't remember my Motu that well, but the Thunder Tank was always a sweet vehicle. See, damn, I'd love those Ghost Tab. Yep. EJO, Herculoids, and Thundar. Yeah. I imagine Ramen Toys will officially show more Gotcha Man figures at Toy Fair. Did you guys see it was on Instagram where Instagram said something about, hey, yeah, this guy, this is probably an illegal thing going on. And Ramen's like, no, guys, we actually got the license to this one. It struck me funny because for a lot of their stuff, they don't have the license and they never got busted for it. Irony, I guess. Hell yeah, some Thundar and Herculoids would be awesome. What do we have? I'm going to get through a couple more. A little Batman and Robin figure is included. Robin in the Batmobile, but Batman stands outside. Okay, somehow I missed that. Like I thought I saw Batman standing on the outside of it, but I totally missed the Robin. Ghost Tab, I imagine Hasbro will show Daredevil figures since show starts March 4th. Oh, yeah, they've got to. They've got to do that. Skew, attack track. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm remembering the attack track. Oh, that would be ridiculous. All right, that'd be fun. Yep. All right, guys, here's what I want to do right now because I can only look at a floor plan for so long. Let's go. Now that we know kind of what's up, or, we have a better understanding of who all is going to be at Toy Fair, I want to go to Classified real quick. Oh, wow. Classified doesn't even have much in the way of pre-orders. I'm on the Classified page on BBTS. Give me just a second. Oh, wait, we've already got it up there. So I'm wondering, like the leather neck looks sweet and all that. I guess with G.I. Joe, what I would love to see, because I would love to see Hasbro do some things with all their lines. All I want from G.I. Joe, because, well, I guess two things kind of, but one big thing. The big thing is I would love it if all their figures, if there was a huge announcement at Toy Fair and suddenly all their figures were coming with extra hands. That would answer all my G.I. Joe prayers, save one. I would also love it if the design team was allowed to go out there and make their own designs. Now, it might be that sales have proven that that's just not going to work, but that's what I'd love to see is extra hands for G.I. Joes becoming a thing, like becoming just a staple, a regular thing, and getting more modern updates of some of these figures. Like I think Road Pig looks amazing. I think Jinx looks really good. I think who was it that I saw? Heavy Duty, I think, has a good presence there as far as more modern looks. I don't even know how, but maybe removable parts. Yeah, it would be a cool mashup. Skew, Peep said they'd moved the classified stream to right after Toy Fair in March. Yeah, I saw that. What's that? The 18th? I still have to think. I mean, I'm not seeing tons of classified in stores, so I wonder, are they going to start becoming more kind of like Street Fighter? Like, is G.I. Joe going to be a niche thing that the only way we can get them is ordering them online? Because I know they've got tons of exclusives right now, and if that's the case, they wouldn't be a brand that Hasbro would be showing at Toy Fair. But they should, because that's their own brand. Like, they should get people pumped about that brand. I wasn't planning on buying any figures until I heard Dalsim was for 20 bucks. Sold. Nice, Ghost Tab. Congratulations. Yeah, he looks great. Star, when is NYCC anyway? I don't know when the Comic-Con is. The Toy Fair is next weekend. Hang on, let's see. New York? Ah, I need to be able to actually type. Here we go. I'll let you know. I'm looking for it right now. New York Comic Con, October 9th through the 12th. That's when NYCC is. So the next time we're going to see anything of real value after Toyfair will probably be SDCC or maybe some kind of Wonderfest. October, there it is. Ghost Tab, that's when Marvel announces movies people are not going to watch. That's Yeah, I hope Fantastic Four turns it around. Like I said, the only problem I've had with the trailer for Fantastic Four is I feel like the producers allowed the actor to take priority over the character when it came to Reed Richards. Like I feel like Pedro Pascal should either his face should be clean shaven or he should have the full thing going. So just having the mustache, I'm just looking going, "Oh man, that's not Reed Richards, that's Pedro Pascal." And I feel the same way, by the way, about Harrison Ford being Thunderbolt Ross and not having the mustache. I'm like, they allowed the actor to supersede the character. That always bothers me. But that's a minor nitpick. I think Fantastic Four, I really want it to be good. Star, that just hurts. I know, I know. I know it makes us all sad, but hopefully we'll get something. Like I said, I would love it if Jada had a thing this weekend where they said, "Oh, hey guys, don't forget about us," and they started posting some reveals when it comes to Instagram and X and Facebook, wherever they post. Let everybody know, "Hey, yeah, we have these coming, by the way." Ghost Tab, it's not Pedro Pascal playing Reed Richards, but Reed Richards played by Pedro Pascal. Exactly. That's where I'm at with that. And it's a minor nitpick for sure, but I'm just kind of like, it feels like they're letting the actor be the priority over the character, and I'm never sure about that with stuff. Okay, so that was just me talking Hasbro. The main things I'd love to see. When it comes to Legends, I would love to see, let me see here. Here's Legends. Speaking of, I would love to see the ball peg waist, but I think what's going to happen there, since they just revealed their new Spider-Man body and they were all proud and saying, "This is our brand new buck," and all that, that means there's another 3 or 4 years before Marvel Legends even considers any kind of ball peg waist. And to be honest, I've pretty much resigned myself to the fact that unless it's a HasLab I need to have or some kind of not crowd fund, but like they're made to order Dragon Man, things like that, I pretty much resigned myself to the realization that I'm likely out on Legends. I love what they're doing in a lot of ways. I just, with keeping that waist cut or keeping with that weird ab crunch they're doing now, I just don't see me getting in on them. But that doesn't mean that others won't, and that doesn't mean that there's some terrible photos out there of Marvel Legends. People take killer photos of these figures. It's just it's what I would love to see. They address Ross's stash in the movie. I heard the line, but even though they address it, yeah, he still should have it. Like I heard that in the trailer. And it's Harrison Ford, so he does have a certain amount of cachet, I suppose. But mustache equals unstable molecules. Agreed. Full beard would have been better. I forget. That's got to be the thing with every kind of problem people have with Fantastic Four. They can just be written off as unstable molecules. I like it. You were totally right about those actors superseding the character. Yeah, it's my only problem though. Like, I think hopefully I settle in and I'm like, that's not Pedro Pascal, that's Reed Richards, but we'll see. Everything else about that trailer, like, I can't wait. I hope it's really as good as the trailer makes it look. A lot of Bandai reveals in the last 4 days. They're going hard on Gundam Quark and Premium Bandai, Saint Seiya, and Kamen Rider Gab. I saw some of those. I've been working a little bit on the newsletter. So anybody that gets the newsletter, you guys know that I put the photogenic figures from the past week on there, and I put links to check them out and all that. So I saw the Saint Seiya, I can't remember what it was called, but it's basically in red. Then one of the Kamen Rider ones I set up was in purple. So I've got to look around and see what else is out there. But I think Bandai has a presence at Toyfair as well, which makes sense because they are at places like Meijer, they're at Best Buy, they're at Target. I think they're at Walmart also. So yeah, Bandai is at Toyfair. So what does everybody want to see there? I would say most people watching their stuff probably, if they're big fans and all that, they probably want to see some Dragon Ball. They probably, I don't think they'll see Kamen Rider because that's just not sold out here. But maybe one thing they'd like to see is some Lord of the Rings when it comes to Bandai. Hollywood BS is killing our favorite franchises. All those actors have an army of agent managers and lawyers to bend the contracts to their whims. I mean, it happens for sure. I wish it wasn't, but it happens. Hasbro showed a new 6-inch wave of 3 Spidey characters. Not a single one had toe articulation. I saw the stream today. And it's, I mean, they look good. But, you know, that's called hanging the lamp. They say their main problem, let's see, the main problem, so audience gives the movie a pass on the issue. I have never heard hanging the lamp. Thank you, Ghost Tab. That's interesting. Ghost Tab, Saint Seiya Mime. Yes, it's from the filler Asgard arc, and Kamen Rider Gav had their rider Vram. Character uses the power of flan to fight monsters? What? Isn't that a dessert? Star, they do? Bandai SH Figure Arts? Lord of the Rings? Yeah, give me a sec. Let me go back. Let me just check out here. Show map. I'm gonna just look this up real quick, guys. I'm not gonna hit you with a long time of sitting here and just looking at a map, or at a floor plan. Let me find action figures. Okay, I'm looking right now. I know I saw Bandai on here somewhere. Okay, this is level 1. Let's look at level 3. Yep, Bandai Namco Toys and Collectibles America. They are there. And they've got a fairly sizable booth, it looks like. So, yes, they are there. Just like 52 Toys Star. So, hopefully, we'll see that alien. Hopefully, we'll see some of those Lord of the Rings figures. I'd like to see Star Wars stuff, but that's not allowed to be sold over here. So, we probably won't see any of that. Flan is a dessert, and the rider has spoon on his ears as antenna. Really, really, really original design. I was right. I don't think I've ever had flan. But yeah, so what would everybody want to see? We're talking SHF right now. What would everybody want to see from them over in the States that probably would show up? Like, I mean, we've gotten some One Piece over here. We've gotten, what is it, Demon Slayer I've seen Dragon Ball. Obviously they can't sell Star Wars because of Hasbro, because they're anti-market, anti-capitalist, I guess. I don't know. And then, man, Lord of the Rings. I wonder if Lord of the Rings will be able to be sold. I can't imagine they wouldn't be able to be sold over here. Figure Arts, Frodo with Gollum. Let's see, Legolas and Gandalf the Simp as well. Gandalf the Simp? What? I know not things. I'm saved. Sea Star, we don't have Jada. It doesn't look like Jada's there. but Bandai is. So hopefully we get some Lord of the Rings. I don't know. I kind of want my Lord of the Rings figs and soft goods. They'll definitely be posable, though. Yeah, and what was it? It was Tanjiro from Demon Slayer, I believe. I saw a review of him from Anthony's Customs a while back, and he said the articulation was amazing, even though it had like a heavy, like the shirt's really loose around him. He's got the heavy pants and all that. It was amazing. So, and it looked good. So even though I totally get what you're saying about the cloth goods, you could flare out the plastic the way they did that. If they've got the right team working on Lord of the Rings, you might be able to swing it anyway. Ghost Tab flan is basically creme brulee, but more solid. Oh, that doesn't sound like much fun. I like my creme brulee all puddingy. I just had some this past weekend. That stuff's amazing. Star, Lord of the Ring, Orcs, SHF. What's that? Moria goblins? I don't know things. I wonder, you know what? SHF maybe needs to get, I don't know, a D&D license. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. We'll see. You know, something that could come out of Toyfair that could be interesting is what exactly Hasbro's going to license out to other companies. Seeing what other companies do, that might be kind of cool. Flan equals amazing. It even has its own emoji. Psh. By the way, guys, just to be a jerk, well, not to be a jerk, but when I was ordering my creme brulee, I decided to say cream brulee. One, I'm sure the server has heard that a zillion times, so it wasn't at all funny to her, but everybody else just looked at me like, seriously? Like, yeah, I did that. All right, Skew, Naruto might show up too. Ooh, I didn't think of that. Ghost Tab, Gandalf the Simp is from Ring of Power. I have not seen the Lord of the Rings movies for so long. No waist swivels? Crazy. I know. Even the waist swivel, though, that bugs me. I wish they'd do away with that. I feel like Marvel Legends isn't today's action figure. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're stuck back a few years. Flan is top tier. Try some from Brand Royal. Okay. All right. And it's really just creme brulee, but just a little thicker, huh? Because, I mean, creme brulee is awesome. Hasbro has licensed G.I. Joe to Mezco. Maybe some Mezco D&D? Oh, that would be interesting. I know they, obviously, I mean, we've seen Duke. We've seen Snake Eyes. We've seen Destro, Firefly, Roadblock. Who else? Both two kinds of Snake Eyes. Storm Shadow they did. Yeah? What other lines could Hasbro loan out to them? I mean, it has to be, what action figure lines do they have that they've been kind of putting on shelves? Obviously, I doubt that Mezco is going to be able to do 1/12 collective mask figures. But what is there besides G.I. Joe and D&D that maybe they could license out to Mezco? That would be interesting. Ghost Tab, my coworker loves the movie Les Mis, so I called it Less Miserable. I like it, Ghost Tab. I like it. I do the same kind of thing, man. Somebody I know was all about Notre Dame. So, of course, I said Notre Dame or Notre Dame, that kind of thing. And you have to do it with a nasal accent when somebody's being all fancy. Soft goods and die-cast armor all around. Man, that would be sweet. You know who might do a really good job with Lord of the Rings? And I mean, from what I've seen from SHF, I think they'll do a pretty good job. But with everything we saw with Savage Crucible tonight that the good Mr. Matson was showing off, man, that could be sweet. Like Lord of the Rings being done by Harbinger would be amazing. Star, who has the Micronauts license right now? Isn't Micronauts Hasbro as well? Let me see here. Micronauts. So looks like Super 7 is doing some Micronauts. They're doing it with their reaction figures. Let me see. Who owns Micronauts? Oh, Super 7 currently owns the rights to Micronauts. So there you go. I figured they were being licensed out to somebody. Visionaries and Cops and Crooks, possibly Mask. I don't know about Mask. The only thing I don't know about when it comes to Mask, there's two things really. One, it hasn't been on the shelves in years. So I just don't see Hasbro being all that stoked about licensing it out. And the fact that it hasn't had any kind of anything, any kind of media support at all, I don't see Mezco being too excited about chasing that license. And the other thing is vehicles. Like it would be awesome to have vehicles like the old Mask line had in 112 scale, but I don't know that Mezco would go after that. Have they ever, what did they make? Didn't they make the Rumbler? Was that ever released? I remember they showed it off way back when. I'd be curious to see how that ended up. But then Cops and Crooks, who is it that has that right now? Doesn't Fresh Monkey have Cops? And I don't remember Visionaries. Like I think Fresh Monkey Fiction, for whatever reason, has Cops and Crooks. And I don't know. Yeah, Visionaries is another one that doesn't have any kind of following right now. So I'm just not sure. I would love some quality Micronauts figs. That would be, I mean, in 112 scale, that'd be a lot of fun. But if you want quality, never mind. I'm not going to make that joke. Super 7, all hope is now officially lost. See, I didn't have to make that joke. The joke was made. Skew, just the drivers. They might do a Matt Tracker. Matt Tracker might be popular enough to do. He was in the G.I. Joe line, whatever the next G.I. Joe line was after the 25th anniversary. Like they had the 25th, the 30th, all that. No, actually, he might have been part of the 25th anniversary line. That would be interesting. I had that figure. It was pretty cool, but it definitely wasn't 112 scale. Spaded one. How in the world is there not a single popular cowboy toy property right now? Ooh, Heroes of the Old West. Like that would be fun, but I think probably has something to do with the fact that we don't have a lot of Western media like that right now either. But you're right, that would be sweet. Whose feet do I have to grovel at in order to get some truly great quality StarCraft 1 and 2 figs? Let's see. If you're talking quality, I think, depending on what you mean by quality, if we're talking figures that come with a lot of accessories, are crazy articulated, and look the part, I think we're talking you have to grovel at Mofex or Mezco. I think that's pretty much it because I think the other, like the indie lines, I don't know. You know what? I think Valaverse could be interesting for StarCraft. Who else am I thinking? I don't see Hasbro. I don't This is terrible, but I love Classified and I think I'm liking what I'm getting from Transformers from Hasbro lately. But when it comes to other figures, I'm just not seeing what I consider great quality. So I don't know. Mofex, Mezco, SHF, those are all quality figures. Savage Crucible, like Harbinger, does a great job, and they're getting into football. Maybe. I don't know, man. That one's tough. What do you guys think? Who's got some StarCraft? And what new licenses, besides obviously StarCraft, would everybody love to see? Fresh Monkey Fiction has a license and is doing 112 Cops and Crooks, but they still might let it out to Mezco too. Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, Hasbro's the licensor. More D&D would be rad too. And I'm sure I was missing something. Like Fresh Monkey Fiction, if they're doing Cops and Crooks, they could do I mean, they're running the gamut with the kinds of figures they're doing. Super 7 is too pricey, shoddy too. Yeah, I haven't picked any up, but I've heard enough from other people where I just don't want to gamble my money like that. Spaded one. I really dug the NECA D&D figures when I had them. Really want to see what a higher class of fig can do with them. Mad Hatter showed off a banger third-party Gandalf the other day. I saw the beginning of that video, but I didn't see the rest of it. Yeah, the NECA D&D figures, those looked... I know nothing of D&D, and I was crazy tempted by those. But yeah, what licenses would we like to see? Spaded. Kato is working on a line for Cowboys right now. Also, Ace is working on the Marshall and a version of Galaxy Rangers. That's right. Let's get off of this page here just because, meh. What was announced? You know what we could do here? Let's look at. I can't get on X here. What did everybody think of that Hasbro live stream today with the Spider-Man figures, the Black Cat, like the Gamerverse stuff? And more importantly, I wonder if I can find that. Let me see here. More importantly, does anybody have a great guess as to what that missile was at the end of the live stream? Because I'm seeing a lot of people say a lot of different things, and I would love to see a consensus. Let me see here. We'll pull it up, pull up the picture. La da 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 da, la da 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 da. Okay, give me just a sec. We've got that there, but let me get a better picture of it. Here we go. What's everybody thinking when it comes to this missile here? We'll get through a few more of these. And then, like I said earlier in the chat, as we get closer to Toyfair, which will begin happening pretty much 2 days after next Thursday's live stream, I'm sure some leaks will be coming out. We might see some stuff that's going to be shown. So we'll revisit this topic next Thursday. And then on Monday, as part of Photogenic Figures, we'll talk about what was shown off at Toyfair over the weekend. Because at that point, I believe the first is Saturday and it goes through the 4th, which is Tuesday. But by Monday night, we should have seen almost everything presented. So we'll go through all that, find out what everybody's thinking, what everybody's stoked about, what people don't care about. And it'll just be a fun little chill chat both Thursday for any reveals we see before the fair or before Toy Fair, and Monday, kind of in the middle of, but really mostly at the end of Toy Fair itself. Marduk and Grimsword are absolutely sick. Warduke. Grimsword looked awesome, and I did like Warduke's paint job. I thought that looked really good. Star, keep an eye on Medi. They've done World of Warcraft. StarCraft isn't unfathomable either. Medi Toys. I can't imagine Medi will be. I know you guys brought that up a few times. I can't imagine they'll be at Toy Fair, so I didn't even look for their names just because of the kind of stuff they do. Until these companies start taking some risks with more niche titles, then we're always going to be stuck with the same few franchises. It's getting a little boring. Explains why IPs are rocking. Yeah, I kind of want. That's why I was really thinking I need to check out a lot more anime, is because I know so much of the other stuff. And you're right, it is kind of boring a little bit. I love Galaxy Rangers, but that line would be really short. I don't know my Galaxy Rangers so much. But I'm assuming what that means is there just aren't that many characters. So sweet, will do. Thank you, brother. Skew, helping out the people. It's what happens. Update, still no NECA mystery boxes. Poor EJO, man, that sucks. Spaded one. That stream was kind of a letdown. Almost all Spider-Man, no toe articulation. Variants I have no interest in. Yeah, I'm not. When I was into Marvel Legends, the stuff that I would get was mostly 616. I got the first two Game Reverse Spider-Mans, and I don't know why. Like, I shouldn't have gotten them. But yeah, I can see that. If you're not into the video game, it was just kind of a meh. Star. I wish Jada or even, oh man, excuse me, guys, or even Yes Mezco would do some Duke Nukem. Oh, the whole cast and not just the title character. That would be fun. All right, what do we have here? It is 8:46. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go till, well, 8:46 my time. Let's see how the chat goes. I'm planning on probably go another 4 minutes or so, and we'll call it there. And then, like I said, Monday we'll go over some photogenic figure stuff, like whatever goes up this week that I think is going to look great under your lights and in front of your lenses. And then we'll also talk a little bit about what's going on next Monday, not this coming Monday, but the following Monday. We'll also talk about what we saw at Toyfair, what our hopes and dreams are, or if they came true. And next Thursday, we'll be talking about any potential leaks that are going to show up between today and then. And here's what I want everybody to pay attention to, because I'm not sure, I'm hoping it happens. I'm not sure it happens. It would seem silly to me that if it didn't happen, pay attention to all things Jada. I don't have any kind of inside information. I don't have anything like that. I just have to think with New York Toy Fair coming around, with Jada, it just doesn't look like it's going to be there. I would think they would want to get in on the action or do something later so they could have kind of their own weekend, but I would think they'd want to get in on the action. So I would pay attention to their socials anyway and just see and hope that they come up with something action figure related just to show us, because I'm with all of you. I can't wait to see what their next stuff is. Also, this whole wave makes them look even worse for charging $35 for the regular Spider-Man a while back. Yeah. I wish I knew a lot more numbers when it came to what they charge, you know? Screw Hasbro, things are going to get worse now that the $50 Spider-Man sold out. I'm definitely keeping my hands, let's see, my Hasbro purchases to a minimum. We'll see. Like I say, I don't really talk price all that much. I think a fair comparison would be that Marvel Legends Spider-Man versus a Mafex Spider-Man. And the reason that I think that would be a fair comparison is because if the Mafex Spider-Man were sold in the US, it would be about $50. Like, we only have to pay way more because of shipping overseas and things like that. So I do think if anybody here in the stream is getting that Spider-Man, hold it up to your Mafex Spider-Man and see what you think. I do think a lot of the accessories that the Legend Spider-Man comes with are pretty cool, but I think that they're not going to be able to touch Mafex as far as how good he looks when he articulates, and even when it comes to his articulation scheme at all. I really think it's a mistake that they went to 50. And again, I'm saying this not talking pricing. I'm saying it talking as a brand person. I think it's a mistake that they sold Marvel, or they're going to sell Marvel Legends, the brand, at $50. I think if they just hadn't called it Marvel Legends, they would be in a better spot. I'm not against them selling figures for $50. I'm against a line that is supposed to be kind of an introductory line, or has been an introductory line for collectors. I'm against that being sold for $50. So if they just removed Marvel Legends, I think that would do better for them. I know it's sold out, but let's see what the long-term implications are. Star, of all the smaller niche lines I can think of, my number one choice would be the Alien Legion figs. Sigh, never gonna happen. Sigh again. Yeah. Oh, and that missile is from the big wheel. Awesome. what was it? Mr. Matson was talking about that being on the Cobra Adder. That's the kind of missile he said is on the Cobra Adder, which is kind of cool. Bro, Hasbro really asked $50 for a Spider-Man a week after Storm Arena pre-order dropped Baki at 25 and it worked. I know. Well, I mean, there are people that are going to jump in. And for content creators, I know people are kind of going after a lot of them. Think of it this way. When you have a smaller price line or a lower price line, it makes it so that it's affordable for a much larger group of people. And YouTube and all that is all about more views. And if a larger group of people are into Marvel Legends, which they can be because, again, it's a cheaper line, people that are talking about Marvel Legends primarily on their channels are going to want those people to keep watching. So, because it makes them more money if a ton of people are watching. So, if Marvel Legends starts going down, then they're going to get a lot fewer views. So, it is in their best interest to speak highly of Marvel Legends. I'm not saying I agree with that, but it is in their best financial interest to speak well of it. So just keep that in mind. Let's be cool. Let's nobody jump all over everybody. Just get what you dig, and that's pretty much it. Kyrus, what's going on, man? I appreciate you coming on last week. That was fun. And now here you are, just as I'm getting ready to go. What the heck, man? I'm kidding. Let's see. I kid. I can't blame them. Folks love Spider-Man. I know. It's like I was saying earlier in the stream. I could put up a bad picture of Spider-Man and it would get all kinds of likes because Spider-Man. Any hopes of seeing Scorn Guy from anyone anytime soon? I don't know. It's going to be one of the most fun things about Toyfair is seeing new lines get announced. I can't wait to see what gets announced there. Let's see. Hasbro has gotten good at scamming. I doubt the run of $50 Spider-Man that sold out was even a large amount to begin with. It was probably rigged. Maybe. I mean, that's speculation. We don't know. So I don't want to really go there with that kind of thing. But I am curious about what the long-term implications are going to be for that. I had a great time. Awesome, Kyrus. I appreciate that. It was really fun having you on. All right, guys, that's what I got for this fine evening. Hang on. We got one more. We're gonna bug spaded one. Spider-Man was the one character that got me to break the mold and buy the Mofex. Everyone should have a great Spider-Man. I totally agree. I have the classic colors, and that one I think is still fairly widely available. So definitely go for it. It's good stuff. Too bad the folks buying that Maximum Spider-Man are missing out. We'll see. Like I said, it's got really cool accessories, so who knows? I mean, it's gonna be interesting when comparisons come out between the Mofex Spider-Man and the Maximum Spider-Man. But anyway, ladies and gents, that's what I've got for this one. Thanks as always for stopping by to hang out. Always cool. Always appreciate the time that you took the time to check this out when you could be doing anything else. So until next time, which is Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, have fun and happy snapping.